So right now let's get started with the time intelligence functions. The time intelligence functions enables us to manipulate the data using time periods like years, quarters, months, and days, and also creating calculations over those time periods are possible with time intelligence functions. With the time intelligence functions, actually it makes our job pretty simple because we don't have to do month to date calculations, or if you want to do some kind of cumulative total month to date total, right? So you don't have to compute it manually. For this, the built-in functions are already available. Okay, with that we can, with that it helps us to simplify our task in terms of computing the year to date and month to date, and quarter to date is available, right? So these things are possible now with these built-in functions. So what is time intelligence? Time intelligence function that give you insight from the data and time dimensions. Okay, this is what you can get it with this thing. And the date table requirements, in order to work with the time intelligence function, obviously you need to have a separate date table. This is what I discussed as part of the data modeling part. You remember it. So that is what we discussed it. In this case, make sure that you need to have a custom date table. So in this case, what I did, I have created the dim date table. Where is that? I just go here and then we will see it here. Best thing, if I go here, you can see it here. Dim category, and oh my god, here I did not use date. It should be there now. Yeah, calendar. Okay, calendar table. Calendar is nothing but your date table here. I just go to the data view and I just select the calendar here. And here you can see the 4 columns that I use: date, year, month, quarter, and month name. These are the columns that I used it. And that is what we can see it here, right? So dim category, product, and dim customer calendar. Dim location, yeah, calculate tab, this we don't have to worry about this. Fine. The next one is what we are going to do is, yeah, so this date table, what you need to do is you need to follow this one. Okay, when you create the custom date table, it must contain all the days for all years represented in your fact tables. Look here, what I did here, how I created the calendar table. So in the interview, they will ask you how to create the date table. Did you use a custom date table dimension, or did you use the customer given date table? Some cases, what they do is when you get into a project, the customer themselves will give you the date dimension table or the calendar table. Date dimension is nothing but the date dimension is nothing but the calendar table here. So there is a DAX function called calendar. Here you can specify the value like this: starting from this date to this date, you generate the date. Okay, actually this is not the right way of doing it. In this case, I should have used min of order date, comma, max of order date. You remember in the yesterday's session I have shown you, right? So anyhow, this is also fine. But in the case of the date table, the first prerequisite is it should contain all the days starting from 3rd March to 12th, 2022. All right, so you need to have all the dates, but the date should be sequential. There should not be any gap here. And you might be saying that in between some days I have closed my shop due to riot or due to some other reasons. Okay, and even though you shut down your shop, but the date table should have the sequential of series of date values should be stored in the date column. Otherwise, it will not work. That is the first requirement. Must have at least one field set as date. So look here, this first column has been set as a date data type. Fine. And cannot contain duplicate date values. You are not supposed to have duplicate values and should be marked as a date table. It's optional, but it's a best practice. We can probably ignore this. should not have missing dates. That's what I said. You should not have any missing dates in between. You don't say 8th and 9th was holiday. And do I need to have this value here? Let it be there. You need to have it when it comes to date table. The date table will not contain many records. Okay. So per year, you have 2021 and 22 in this example. So per year, 365 days. Even if you store 10-year data, so 365 into 10, right? 3,650 records only will be there. It will not cause any burden. It will not consume too much of space in your hard disk. Okay, hence make sure that you are following all these rules. These are the thumb rules. You need to strictly follow these thumb rules in order to create the date table. And the next step is the year to date. Okay, and we right. So as see, the business requires the time intelligence calculations like year to date, quarter to date, month to date, last year to date, and year over year, quarter over year, right? Quarter over quarter. They want these kind of analysis to be done. Okay, so in that case, right, the time intelligence functions are very much helpful. So we have something called total YTD. There is a function called total YTD. So in this case, what happens is the year-to-date calculation is an aggregation of value from the beginning of year to the specified date. Okay, let's say your manager is asking you, can you give me the year-to-date sales of 2022? So that means this year, year 2022, January 1st to till date, right? So till yesterday, right? Till yesterday, whatever the data are there, you need to take it and then you need to do the aggregation, sum of sales. Okay, for that. Okay, and should be marked as a date table. Fine, should not have missing dates. So this is what we discussed. The total YTD, the first argument is your expression, and then dates, and then you can use filter and year and date. And the next one is month to date. So if you see here, in this one, I have the date column here and orders placed and year to date and quarter to date, month to date is there. And when it comes to month, look here, the month to date. We are talking about month to date. You just look at this data set here and look here, the January month ends here, right? 31st January and 1st February. So what happens is here we are finding out the total number of orders placed, count of the order ID. So in this case, 14th January, how many number of orders we received? 15th January, that is what we needed here. But if you keep look at here, right, it is doing correctly here. And when it comes to this place, especially this place, 79, that's all. Okay, and if you see here order, this is orders placed. So, but here it is fine. Okay, it keep displays the value. But when you look at the year to month to date here, if you look at the data here, sorry, 1st February starts here, right? Yeah, 1st February starts here. It resets the counter. So what happens is you forget about this value. This is not showing the correct value. See, 70 plus 99. It gives you some kind of cumulative total. 70 plus 99 plus, in this case, 70 plus 99 plus 36. So these three values will get added, and that one will go to this place. And when it comes to this place, right, and these two values will get added and it will go here. Okay, got it? So it is kind of a cumulative total, but what will happen is it will simply sorry, in this case, yeah, in this case it will simply display these values. Okay, month to date. And when it comes to sorry, it does the cumulative total, and then when it comes to February month, it resets the value. So whatever the sales, orders that we received on February 1st, that one only will get displayed. It will not do the cumulative total. Every month, the total, the cumulative total will get reset. Every month beginning, every new month beginning, the counter value reset. Now we will take a look at this, how it works, the month to date in DAX, so that you'll be able to understand very clearly. Okay. I just go to the Power BI desktop. Here I don't have that data set. 1 second. Let me just go to the other one here. Yeah. So here what I do is I create this one. Here I create two slices. One is for year and one is for month. Other one is for month. This is for month. Here I just put the month name. Okay, and here I put the year. And what I do is I just go and make it list. Okay, fine. See, in the slicer, you have some option here. When you click on this, 1 second, when you click on this down arrow, you wanted to have the list. This is the list, display type. The display type is list here. And if you want, you can use drop down. But in this case, if you click on this, you can see if you don't want this to be visible, you click on it. Okay. On a need basis, you can display it, or on a need basis, you can close it. The advantage of this one is we can save space here. The other option is between. Okay, this one we will see it later, and this is one pending item is there. I just display it in the thing. Okay, fine. Next, we will take a look at the month name. Look here, month name. I just drag and drop here. And then what I do is for the sake of simplicity and for cross verification, I just use the quantity. Look here, in the April month, all these 4 years put together, what is the total units we sold? That is what we can see it here. So I just go here and increase the font size. It's not that visible. Now it's good. Okay, let me just go here and font. And you have the bold value here, right? So we'll enable it, that one also. Yeah, fine. So you have month name and quantity is there. And next one is the total year to date measure. We'll be using it. And instead of that, what I am going to do is I'm going to bring in the day here. Okay, in order for you to understand this first, how it works. And what I do is here the day name is there. I just drag and drop this here. Now I want this day name to be displayed as a first column. So what I need is I need to move this up here in the field section. So day name, month name, and the quantity, we can see it here. Okay, good. So now what I do is I just go and create a new measure. Year to date or month to date sales. Okay, if your manager is asking you, can you give me the month to date sales, which means the October 1st to till yesterday, not today, till yesterday. Okay, whatever the transactions happen, you need to take that transaction. That is called your month to date. And here, what I do is you have something called total MTD function is available here. The first one is, let's say here, okay, sum of quantity. Okay, not here. See, I made a mistake here. 1 second, let me just go here. Yeah, this is where I want to do it actually. Let me see if I can copy it here. I just want to do it here. Oh, even in that case, I have the sales W04, right? This is, sorry, this is D3, all except, okay, here it is available. Okay, okay. Dim date, yes, this is correct only, correct only. Okay, I just got confused because of the file names. Here, sum of quantity, because it was not displaying this help, right? This is what I was wondering. I don't know what mistake I did. It was not displaying this one. Now it is displaying it. Good. So quantity, sales W04 quantity and YTD. Okay. And what is the other thing that we need to do here? And total YTD and the MTD is also available. And the case of, yeah, so here the second argument is you need to specify dim date underscore date of date. There is something called total MTD function that is available. The first argument is your the expression comma the the calendar date. Okay, so that is what we need to use it. Let us see if this works fine here. Sum of sales quantity. Okay, and it is throwing some error here, right? So total MTD. Sum of sales quantity. So this is my okay, month to date, and okay, let us start with the year to date. We will see total YTD and sum of sales W04 quantity. I won't do the this one, but there are no error here. Okay, error was coming, right? Okay. Okay, month, this is month to date. It is not actually month to date, and this is my year to date. Month to date sales, year to date sales, quarter to date sales, and that you can do it with these functions. Now my year to date is ready. And what I do is I just copy this one and I just create the month to date. I think some mistake I made it. If I watch my video again, I will get to know that. Somehow I lost the track. So here what I do is month to date. I just change it to month to date. Total MTD. You have something called total MTD is available. Yeah, total MTD. And so you look here, once you, in case of any error comes in, you just retype it one more time. And then you check the syntax here. Look here, here the syntax is the expression. The first argument is expression, dates, and filter. In this case, we don't have to do any filter. I just press enter. Look here, it's working fine, right? So cool. We don't see any error. So earlier, the same thing, it was causing some from somewhere. I would have made a mistake, and I don't know. I just measure. Okay, cool. So we can see big number here. And we will start with understand this one. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the first year, 2011. The business has been started by 2011 in this case. And then what happens is, in this case, I just remove the day name here. We'll go step by step. And here, if you see here, what happens is month to date measure. Okay, and here we have created the year to date also, right? The YTD measure. And I just move this down here. Okay, so what is happening here for 2011? We'll start with the year one. And here 1161 and here to date measure. What happens is here it is not showing correctly. The reason is it is not displaying it in the proper order. January should come first and February should come next. So January 8:30 and February 7:30, right? January 8:30. Yeah, so look here, ideally it should have done like this. So what I will do is I just go here to address this issue, to display the January 1st. This is a little bit challenging. And we have month number, month name, right? So what you need to do is you need to select the month name, and then you need to, this is also an interview question they'll ask you. Okay, I'll explain you first. Let me finish this one. Select the month name and then sort by column of your month number. Okay, we are done with this. Let's go and see, are we getting the same thing here? Yeah, and I just do it. Look here, now it got sorted in Jan, Feb, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. So you got it. So what I did here, this is an interview question. They will ask you, how do you display? Because if you see, if you sort it in ascending order or descending order, it will sort it based on the alphabet. In the case of alphabet, the A comes first. So April obviously will be displayed. That's what we were saying it earlier. But we don't want that to display from April. Instead, we want to display from January, calendar month to date, calendar year to date. So for that, you need to create a column by the name of month name. For this, the dim date is the table name. The first argument is your date, comma, MMM. If you give, the month name will get displayed here. Okay, so that's what I did it here. Now you need to select the month name and then go to sort by column in your data view. Okay, here, and then select this month. Here we have 1, 2, 3, right? When you click on this, what will happen is the January will be considered as 1 and February. So based on this one, it will get sorted. Okay, so that's why Jan, Feb. Now it is displaying it correctly. So January month 8:30 we sold, and month to date 8:30, here also 8:30. But if you see the February month, right? So if you see here, 8:30 plus 7:30, how much? 1,560, right? It is doing the cumulative total here. But month to date, it is not doing it, right? I'll show you why it is not doing it. And in this case, what I do, I just keep this copy as it is for our reference sake. And here, what I do is I just remove this year to date now, and I just bring in the day here. The day name. Okay, I just bring in here. The day name, I make it first. Or else I make the day name as, I just simply put the dim date, right? So DD. 0, 1, 2, 3, something, month 1, month 2, something like that. Okay, here, look here, 1. So day 1 in January, how many units we sold? And day 2, how many units we sold in January? Right, so the first day, 5 units we sold. Second day, we sold 1. If you see month to date measure, for January, right, it is doing the cumulative total. 5 plus 1, 6. And 6 plus 31, 37. 37 plus 29, 66. That's how it is working, the month to date measure. If your manager is asking you on 5th January, what is the month to date units sold? You can tell them 66, because usually in practice, right, the convention is we don't use the current date. Let's say you are on 5th January, and if your manager asking you what is the month to date sales or how many units we sold, you need to start from January 1st to January 4th. Okay, 66 you need to tell. But in some cases they say 84. Okay, but this is the convention. We need to say, supposing if I ask you what is the month to date sales on January 12th, right? So if you say, you will say 258 instead of this one. But in this case, month to date measure is doing the cumulative total. And if you keep move down here, look here, when it comes to January 30th or January 31, 794 plus 4, sorry, 794 plus 36, 830, it gives us cumulative total. It's been doing the cumulative total from starting from Jan 1 to till Jan 31. When it comes to February month, in February month, we sold 29 units. It displays only 29. The counter has been reset month to date, okay, because it is month to date. If I pull this year to date here, what will happen? Every new year, right? So 2011 till year 2011 end, it will not be reset. It will be like a cumulative total, okay, for the entire year. Are you able to understand or not? Year to date measure, if I drag and drop this here. So both the values are same here, but the difference is but February month, the month, the cumulative value got reset here, right? So this February month, this is for the total sales, month to date sales on January 31. Okay, and this is your February sales, and here you can see that year to date measure. If he ask you what is the year to date sales, then you need to say 830. Okay, 830. Okay, and if you ask you what is the year to date, see the 31st, 1st February, if you ask you what is the year to date sales, 830. What is the month to date sales, right? On January, sorry, February 1st, if you ask, 830. Both of them are same, right? 830. You need to say that way. But here 859, it got this year to date was not reset. Only this one got reset. You need to keep this one. That's all. That's the difference between month to date and year to date. But in the case of year to date, when it will get reset is supposing you are selecting 2 years, right? In that case, for the 2012, this cumulative total will get reset. Okay, only the cumulative total will start from the beginning of 2012 to till the end. Okay, that is how it works. So now you understood what is the difference between month to date and year to date. And similarly, we have something called quarter to date. Simply, you just copy this one. Total YTD is the common year QTD. Okay, not the common function. Total YTD, total QTD. These are the functions that we use it to find out or to compute the year to date and month to date. And similarly, we have something called quarter to date. Go here and click on the new measure. Here I just paste this one. I just say QTD measure, and here I just go and say QTD instead of YTD. I just say QTD, and I just press enter. Now my QTD measure is ready. I need to simply drag and drop this here, and simply just search QTD measure and put it along with this. And if I move this up, so every new quarter, at the end of each quarter, the value will, every new quarter, the value will get reset. Every year beginning. So ideally, this one should come before year to date. Okay. So now they logically discuss month to date and quarter to date and year to date. Okay. So now we understood what is month to date and quarter to date and year to date. The same thing, the quarter to date, if you ask you, for example, you are in the March, April, May, right? So if you ask you what is the quarter to date sales, so starting from first to 1 day before the current date, okay, that is what your quarter to date sales. Okay, and in the case of month to date, every month beginning the value will get reset here, but in the case of quarter, every new quarter this value will get reset. Okay, otherwise every for the first quarter all the values will be it does the cumulative total. Okay, for all the values for the first quarter, it is doing the cumulative total. For the second quarter, it resets the value, and then whatever the value. For example, here the the value is 57 for quarter two, and then it will start with 57, and then for quarter two, what is that? March, April, May, June till June end, it does the cumulative total. July 1st, the quarter three starts. So the value will be reset. Whereas in the case of year to date, every new year, the cumulative value, right? Every new year, the cumulative value will be reset. That is the difference. Okay, now the question is, everything is fine, but he wants you to see this is my calendar year to date, month to date, right? So quarter to date. He wants to see the financial year to date. Financial year starts from January, it starts from when? April, right? Financial, starts from April to next year, March 30th. So in that case, how do you do that, right? So how can you display the financial year to date measure? I just go to the year to date, something like that. I already put this one, finance. Fiscal year, yeah, it's already there. So in this case, it's already there, readily available. Fiscal year, right? Fiscal year to date or financial year to date. The same function, total year to date, because we are finding out the fiscal year to date. The same thing here. The second argument is also same, but followed by this, you need to specify this one. When will your financial year ends? So in our India, right? So the March 31st. For March 31st, right? Yes, correct. You need to say the month forward slash and the date. This is your financial year ending date. You need to specify it here. Okay, it varies from one country to another country. In the case of USA, the financial year date and calendar date is all same. Both of them are same. Okay, but in the case of India, you need to specify it. So you will get the financial fiscal year. Already I did this. In the interest of time, I just drag and drop this year, fiscal year to date. And here what will happen is every April, May, June, July, right? So that is the one will be considered as your first quarter. April, May, June, July, August, September. See, April, May, June will be considered the first quarter. July 1st, the counter will be reset. Okay, and what you need to do is, in this case, we sorted it based on the month name, right? For this, in the, the date dimension table, you need to have the financial date also, okay? You need to have that one so that you can, you can create it that way, okay? And in this case, April, May, let me just go here. April 1st, look here, April month, everything is 31. The year to date, it will go till the end of the year, but here 31 here. And then the May month, May, June, and then July month. July month, it is not doing it, right? So fiscal year to date. Oh, year to date. Okay, it is not quarter to date. It is year to date. We can use the quarter to date also. Same thing. What will happen is, in that case, quarter to date, it will, it will start with April, May, June. That is the first quarter. July, August, September. What you do is the same thing. This is an exercise for you. QTD. You make it QTD. That's all. The interview, they'll ask you what are the time intelligence function you used it. I have used the total YTD and total MTD, total QTD. That's all. Okay. And for this, the date dimension is very much important. And the fiscal year to date, how can you calculate it? So in this case, what you need to do is, in the total YTD function, the last argument, you need to specify it with your financial year end date year. That's all, right? So it'll do the total automatically. This is total year to date. I'm still thinking it's a quarter date. Sorry. Okay. This is year to date. Okay. So in the year to date, what will happen is the March. So for example, 2022 April, May, June, that will be considered quarter one. And 2023 Jan, Feb, March, that one will be considered as a quarter four. Got it? So after March only, the value will be reset. The cumulative total will be reset in this case. Whereas here, this is a calendar year today, December, right? So next year, 2000, so here we have used 2011. 2012, what will happen is this value will be reset. But whereas here for 2012, the April only, the value will be reset. Got it? That is the difference between these two. You need to understand this one very clearly. And this is a very simple thing. If you are, I don't know how many of you are working in accounts department, right? So this is the one we'll be using. The quarter to date profitability and revenue, they will be discussing it. The finance department, they'll be using this kind of report more frequently. Okay, we have another alternative. Instead of using total YTD, we have something called date add function. Date add is much powerful. Okay, and with date add, you can go back 1 month and you can go 1 month forward. That is another advantage of this one. And it's already 3:20. I think you guys are overwhelmed. Let me just do one thing. I just click on this. Why to take this one? Let's be smart here. So what I do is total MTD. I just take it here and I just copy paste this so that we can save time modeling and click new measure. And here, what I am going to do is total MTD, but date add. I'm going to use a function called date add instead of total MTD. But in the case of date add, you need to use the calculate function. Okay, you need to use the calculate function. Sum of sales quantity. Here, you need to use date add, dim date. That's it, guys. Okay, here, okay, some syntax error is there. Here, calculate function. Okay, and the first argument I closed it. Date add. I have closed this. Okay, and the next one is sorry, here not date, I had date MTD month to, this is a month to day, right? Yeah, like total YTD, you have something called MTD here, not add date MTD here. Dates MTD, sorry. Because I use most frequently the total YTD. But the date add is another function. Okay, the dates MTD is different, date add is different. The dates MTD we are going to use. The date add is that function is also very much helpful. What is this? This one got created already. The name measure is already created. Very good. Okay, total date add MTD. So not date add. This one dates MTD. Let's rename it. I just put this one here. Sometimes what you do, right? You just check this box, check this value here. Okay, so that, sorry, you select the visual and then you check the column here so that this one will become part of, you don't have to drag and drop. Look here. And if you compare this one with the month to date, both of them will be same here. So year 5, 6, 7, everything is available. Look here, and February month, it got reset. So both of them are doing the same job. But what Microsoft says, right? You can use dates entity. It is much powerful. That's what they say. Okay, you can probably try with both. So for you, the assignment is use dates QTD and YTD, and then you just create the fiscal year to date with the dates entity. Okay, and then submit the results to me. So, okay, we are done with enough the year to date, month to date, and this one. Now, what we will do is we will do something like year on year sales comparison. Okay, For example, 2012, what is the sales? Or 2012 first quarter, what is the sales? And the same period in 2011 first quarter, what is the sales? We want to compare that one. Okay. So what I am going to do is I just create another table. And in this case, okay, sorry, I did not, where I created it. You're right. Okay. Then date here, I just bring this in up here. I just drop this here. And then same thing, I'm going to use it here. The quantity. Let's not waste time here. Quantity is getting late already. Quantity. The quantity, I just drag this and drop it here. And in this case, the year, what I do is I just go and say, look here, the year it summed all the 4 years value, 2011, all these values summed. We don't want that to happen. For that, what we do is we just go to the year column here and then click on the down arrow and then don't summarize. And see here, since I've selected 2011, what is the sales here? I just go and unselect it here. And you can see each year, what is how many number of units we sold. That's what we can see it here. Okay, and next one is the total YTD measure. Total YTD is not much helpful in this case. Ideally, we could have compared total YTD measure. YTD measure. I just drag this here, and it is showing the same value, but the total is different. We can ignore that one at this moment. The next one is we have something called same period last year. Okay, and okay, in this case, it is not much helpful. What I do is, instead of this, I use quarter to date. We have used quarter to date. Very good. So quarter to date measure, I just drag this and put it here. Quarter to date measure. And here, I just select 2011, right? So, okay. Even this one is not much helpful in this scenario. What I'm going to do is I just remove this one, and we have something called parallel period. Okay, and parallel period, and what I'm going to do is so I think I already created something like parallel M. Yes, this measure is already available. So here, inside the calculate function, we can use something called parallel period. The advantage of parallel period is you can go 1 year back. Okay, if you specify year here, see the first argument of your parallel period is your date column in your date table. The second argument is the -1. You can use -1 or +1, +2, something like that. If you use -1, go back to the previous year. Previous, since I mentioned here, here in this case, I mentioned here, hence it goes 1 year back, and then it computes the total sales value, and then it displays along with this. So now I just drag this and drop here, see what happens here. Look here, this is good, right? Parallel period. So here in 2012, how many units we sold? So year to date, it displays the same thing, but the parallel period is display the previous year value here. So this one got displayed along with this, right? This one got displayed along with this. Similarly, this one got displayed along with 2000 year units sold. And similarly, this value 28054, it got displayed here along with this one. So that you can compare side by side. What is the sales we made in how many units we sold in 2014 versus how many units we sold in 2013. So by seeing this, we can easily make out that we have done a phenomenal job in 2014 because the number of units sold, was much more higher than the previous year. Okay, so you can display the values side by side here, but here you don't see anything here because we have started the business in 2011. Hence, 2010 year 2010 data we don't have it. Hence, it displays blank. And along with the 2012 units sold, the previous year sales is getting displayed. This is called your parallel period. In the case of parallel period, -1 you can use it. And you can use -2. Also, you can create another message. Just copy paste this parallel M1, something like that you can give -2, so that what will happen is it will show the 2 years back what is the sales. Okay. And that is the one will get displayed. You just give it a try on that one. The next one is we have something called the same period last year. Okay, we have something called same period last year. I just show here. I just already created it. It seems. Let me just see if I'm lucky. If you're lucky. So here I just go and type same. Yes, I already typed it. Same period last year. Okay, and this is in this case. In the case of parallel period, in the case of same period, you need to use calculate. Similarly, dates MTD, you need to use calculate function. When you use total YTD, total MTD, total QTD, you don't have to use the calculate function. Okay, but for the rest of the thing, you need to use calculate function. First one is the total quantity, sum of quantity. So here also you can use some measure. Okay, first you use the total quantity is equal to sum of source, say sum of sales W0 for quantity, and then total quantity measure you can use it. Okay, reuse the measure, and this is not the best practice. Okay, anyhow, for the sake of learning, I just same period last year, dim date. Instead of parallel period, I've used the same period last year. Okay, let us see what happens here. I just drag this and drop it along with this one. The same thing, right? So parallel and same period last year. So in 2012, same period last year, how much we made? 18227. The same thing is applicable here and here. Good. So now the question is, what is the difference between parallel and same period last year? The same period last year, you can use only one argument here. Look here, I just go back here. Let me just see if anything. Yeah, only one argument. You need to specify the date, that's it. Whereas in the case of parallel period, look here, I just go back here, and parallel period, you can use more than one argument here. Look here, you can use the interval and year. Supposing you want to compare the current month with the previous month sales, you can use month here. So in that case, don't use month. You put year, right? The first one is month. Okay. So in that case, what is the month? January to February month, right? So along with February, if you want to see the previous month sales, it will get displayed here. Okay, parallel period. So in this case, I wanted to I use the year option here. We will see what other options are available. Okay, apart from year. I just delete this and I just type it here. Number, intervals, interval. Okay, year, number of intervals and intervals. So here you have year, month, quarter is also available. 3 options are available. If you want to compare the current quarter with previous quarter, if you want to compare the current month quarter with the previous month, and if you want to compare the current year with previous year, you need to say, if you want to compare the current year with previous year, you need to specify the last one. If you want to compare the current quarter with the previous quarter, so you need to use quarter here. Okay, and month, quarter, year, these 3 options are available. -1, if you give, it go back 1 year, previous year. If you specify quarter year, previous quarter. If you specify month year, previous month. Got it? That's all. That's the difference here. Now with this itself, you are able to understand parallel is has more feature than the same period last year, because in the case of same period last year, you cannot go back more than 1 year. So it displays simply the previous year. If you wanted to see prior to previous year, for example, if I want to give -2, it is possible with parallel period, whereas you don't have any option for same period last year. Right? So look here, the parallel period displays like this. 1927, right? So 2013 onwards, right? To go to the previous, prior to, 2 years back, right? You take this one and then and compare it with this one. That is possible with, parallel period. And also we have something called date, date and, date and parallel period. Yeah, you have something called date add. Okay. And like a parallel period, even in the case of date add, see the syntax, everything remains same, but here parallel period we used it. Instead, we are using date add. So like a parallel period, even the case of date add, you can go back 1 year, you can go back 2 year, 3 year, and you can go forward also. If you want to, go 1 year forward and 2 year forward, that is possible. Going backward and forward is possible in both the date add as well as parallel. Whereas in the case of same period, you can go back 1 year only. You cannot go back more than 1 year. You cannot go forward and all. We cannot do that. Okay. But now the next question is, then what is the difference in parallel and date add? Why they came up with it? So with date add, you can go up to the day and week level also. Instead of year, month, quarter, you want to go 1 year back, or if you 2 year back, or you want to go 1 month back, 2 month back, that is possible with date add as well as parallel. In addition to that, when it comes to date add, it goes up to the day level and week level also. You want to compare today's date and day, if you specify it, 2 days back and current day, what is the sales? 3 days back and current day, what is the sales? Okay, that you can do. So today's, and also you can use 1, 2, 3 also, positive value. When you use positive value, what will happen is it will go forward. What is today's sales and what is the tomorrow sales, right? You can compare that one. The difference between parallel period and date add, both of them are more or less same when it comes to syntax, and also functionality also same. You can go forward and backward, the year, month, quarter. But in addition to that, when it comes to date add, you can go forward and backward, year, day wise and week wise. That's all, guys. That's the difference between these two. And then the next one is the cumulative total. How can I find out the cumulative, irrespective of the year? See, if I use year to date, what happens? Every new year, the value is getting reset. I don't want that to happen. Irrespective of the year, it should show the cumulative total. For that, I have another thing here, cumulative total sales. Look here, it's already readily available. Don't worry. Quantity here, right? So the filter function, I'm using filter function. Even for this cumulative totals, I've used the calculate function. And in this, the second argument is filter. Here I'm using the all function, dim date. And here what I do is dim date is less than or equal to max of dim date of date. What is max of dim date of date? The recent date it will give you. Okay. So in this case, what will happen? Start from the first date to the recent date, right? Whatever data is there, you take it and then you can compute the quantity, the based on this one. Okay. Right. So each and every row you do it. So what I do is I just expand this. I select this. I just resize it. And then I just pull this and put it here. Look here, here it is giving me the total because I did not select anything. For example, if I select 2011, look here, everything is 27, 37, 37, right? But when it comes to quarter, what will happen? Every new quarter, the value will be reset. Every new month, the value will be reset. Every new year, the value will be reset. Every new calendar year, or the financial year, the value will be reset, the cumulative total, right? And but whereas this one, it will not reset at all. Okay. It'll keep doing the cumulative total like anything. Okay. Right. So till, the 2011, right? So if you select all the year, it is doing the same thing. Okay. Fine. Are you able to understand or not? So what you do is simply you open this file and click on this one. You don't have to have the data file. And when you click on this, all the related measures will get highlighted on the right side. And simply click on what is MTD measure and understand this one. Total MTD, total QTD, total YTD, and you have some dates MTD, dates YTD, dates QTD. I told you to practice that one also. Try that one. Okay. That's all. So now we understood all these time intelligence relation functions. It's already 3:35. I think you all overwhelmed because I've been continuously talking. It will be boring for you. So what I'll do is I'll be wrapping up this now. And before wrapping up, you guys have any questions? Okay, yeah. So the tonight I'm going to complete the data visualization part for the other batch. Okay. From next weekend, I'm starting a new DAX batch. Okay, night batch, 9 to 9 p.m. start. The meeting invite remain the same, and you can join from next weekend if you want to restart from the beginning. This is one way, right? If you think, right, if you think you are smart, right? I don't want to watch my videos. Simply, I want to hear it more than one time. That is enough. Then you can join Saturday, Sunday night 9 p.m. And this Tuesday and Thursday, another batch, night time between 9 to 10:35. This Tuesday I'm starting the DAX for that batch, weekday batch. Okay, Tuesday and Thursday, same meeting invite 9 p.m. And if you want, you can join it. Okay. And yes, all for you, all right. A few of you, I could see that you need improvement in data modeling. You don't worry. I have another batch. I will be starting the data modeling probably after 2 weeks. By the time you'll be completing the DAX, and then I will put you with that one. And also we will have one more dedicated session because the assignment is pending from you. We will do it together, that assignment, the data modeling assignment, so that you will gain more confidence. And this one, I think you can do it. I will give you some assignment, you start practice it. But data model, you need my help. Okay, I understood. Fine. I just save this. I will save you. I'll share it with you all. Watch my video and practice it. We have some more, the DAX functions are there that we will carry forward to the next week. It will not take more than 1 hour. We'll finish it up with that. And also I will explain you, we have something called DAX Studio. You, if time permits, you go home and, you can download, you're at home only. Okay, you download DAX Studio. It's a open source. Go to Google, DAX Studio. It's a open source, and in the resume, if you put all the things, they will think, right, you are a superhuman and you have worked on so many things, very good, you are genuine. Your resume seems to be very genuine. Okay. And here I just type the name of the thing, DAX Studio, and here I just so this is the software, DAX Studio. Can you all see it? I just maximize it. DAX Studio. Okay. This is the one you do Googling, download DAX Studio and install it. It's pretty simple tool. And what we do is next week, I will show you how to use DAX Studio, and the advantage of DAX Studio, we'll discuss it. Instead of creating the measures and calculated table and calculated column, right? So we will use the DAX Studio. The advantage of DAX Studio is it is pretty simple. Some cases, if you want to create the measure, you need to go to modeling and click on the measure. And if you want to create table, you need to click on this. You don't have to do, go to different places. When it comes to DAX Studio, you can write it everything. It's very simple and easy one. And also you can check the query performance, how fast your query is doing it. For example, in math, you do 2 plus 3. 2 plus 3 give 5, the answer. I can do 3 plus 2, that also gives 5. But which one is faster? The same DAX query, so let's say, the same output I'm using. For example, the classic example, dates MTD, total MTD, right? Which one is faster? To do the performance benchmarking, the DAX Studio is very much helpful. I will explain that one, the tricks of the trade next weekend, we will see it. And Saturday, most likely we'll complete it. And Sunday, we will see any leftover. Yeah, Sunday, we will complete the cloud-based thing, cloud services. Then we are all set. And I don't know, so if you guys are available next weekend because of festival, right? If you are available, we will see to that. If you all okay, we will continue. Otherwise, we will take 1 week break. We will celebrate, and then we will 30 and 31st, we will come back, right? And you will also get some breathing time to practice it. Okay, it's all up to you. If you want to enjoy, fine. So I will also get rest, right? I will also take a break. Yeah, that's all. Okay, guys, so I will share the file, and since you don't have any questions, I'm going to wrap up the session. See you all next weekend if possible. Okay, it depends on your response. Till then, take care.